Hello, welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this podcast, is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business. Sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to be discussing a lot about our quote today from Carol Burnett, which is basically, getting that dream. When you have that dream, grabbing it, holding on to it, never letting go, and the challenges of that as voice actors, because that motivation, first that dream. A lot of us have had that dream. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing it, right? That dream of freedom, and I think for me, that's what voiceover really is. It's freedom. It's the ability to control my life, my schedule, my finances, and the way I want my future to turn out. And I love that about voiceover, and that's the dream. That was a dream I had when I started. It was the dream, when I went full time as a voice actor and I was able to leave my job, to this day is now, helping other people experience the joy of that freedom, so there's that dream that we have. But I think as we're having the dream and then we're trying to turn that dream into reality, right? All of the challenges arise. The challenges like, my DAW, my space, my recording, my acting, my marketing, my website, my profiles, my imposter syndrome is all of these things, the communities, training, money, time, responsibilities, finance, taxes. There is all of these things that go into making this dream of freedom become a reality, to a point where if we don't do it right, we don't hold on to the dream, right? But if we don't build the business correctly, and make no mistake, this is a business, right? If we don't build it right, it almost feels like it's not freedom. It's like it's bondage, okay? But, building a business, a voiceover business, can be freedom. So, I think that that's something that's lost when we are on this journey. Does that make sense? So I think, when I was going through this, transition from, becoming free from my job, that was all that was on my mind day and night. You know what I mean? Get that freedom, get away from the job, control my schedule, wake up when I want to, go to bed when I want to, not have any of that. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way, but still, you know what I mean? I would say if I didn't have to take if I did have my kids in the mornings and get them ready for school, I probably could get up when I want to, but that's not work related. That's my family. But I think that, the level of control that and freedom I've been able to get from my business has been, it's just liberating. Right? It's absolutely liberating. But when we're in that process, like I was saying before, these challenges can really, really be demotivating. So I think, how do we keep that motivation, right? Like, how do we continue to motivate ourselves when we're not having success, when we're hitting brick walls, when we don't know what to do? And it's funny because recently in A VO's Journey Lead Academy, I've been working a lot on building more of our success system, the system itself, right? And the business model, so that when you become a part of A VO's Journey Lead Academy, right, the focus that you have is your craft and the business, right? We've built that system for you, right? We've built it so that you just have to take the system and use it, right? And then work on your crafts, become a craftsman, work on that craftsmanship, and plug into the system that we've built for you, and you're off to the races. And I think that that's something that's very important to me, because so much of that can be lost because we're focused on all the other stuff. So where I was going with all that is I said that, we don't know what to do next. A lot of times you actually know what to do next on a 20,000 foot view, right? Like, I know I need demos, for example. Right? Okay, so you need them, but when the actual time comes where you're like, okay, I need these demos, how to get them? Well, you go to someone and they're like, well, sure, I can do it. It costs a couple $1,000s, or cost this. There's a cost to it, right? Right? And just like anything else, there's a cost. And you're like, I don't have that money. So you're like, well, then I'm going to try to do it myself. Even though these people say don't do it yourself, I'm going to do it myself. Then you try to do it yourself, but then you go to do it yourself and you're like, wait a minute, how do I mix the music? Where do I find the music? Can I use it? Is it royalty free, or am I going to get in trouble? How do I mix it? Why it doesn't sound right? Why is there's these noises, or why can't my voice is too low? I can't hear my voice, or it sounds muffled, or the background music is too loud, or the background music's too low, or does it need a sound effect there? Like, how do I render it? Do I mix it? Do I export the file? I mean, so then all of a sudden you don't, and then for example, if you're just, you don't know your DAW very well, you're like, crap, and then, I bought a rack. Does the rack work, or do I use the rack? Do I not use the rack? Is this for ACX? Do I use the same, right? It's chaotic. It can be overwhelming to the point where we stop dead in our tracks. And what most people do is they switch to something else, something they're more comfortable with and they're familiar with, right? And because they switch to that, what ends up happening is the thing that we know we need to do. There's a difference between what we know we need to do something and being able to do it. Those are two different things. They really are. We shift from the things that we know we need to do to things that we can do. And a lot of times they're not the same, sadly. Especially when you're in the first couple years of your journey as a voice actor, a business owner. And it's funny because we say voice over business. And I think, again, the business part, and me, I hound this. I mean, acting has been the core of my life, and the craftsmanship since I was in, grade school. And I went to college for it. I did it professionally on the stage for a while. I taught it, I directed it, built the academy around it, done it myself for 25 plus years now. And my whole adult life and as a kid as well, right? And I have to tell you, you will always work on that craft. It will never stop. You'll never, because we change, like the world changing all the time. We are changing all the time. There is always change. So your acting, your expression will always change. The business part is never, especially in what we do, is not, a lot of people don't want to do it. Let's just be honest. A lot of voice actors, a lot of artists, we just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with the money. We don't want to deal with coding or SEO, right? I mean, I didn't get into voiceover to do SEO. And you'll hear a lot of people, and rightly so, a lot of people say, well, tough, that's part of the business. And it is. It's the business part, and there's the craftsmanship, right? And the idea is, how do we put those together in a manner in which, is not crippling to us and painful and overwhelming. And again, knowing what we need to do, but not able to actually do it, becomes like a bumper sticker, right? It becomes like what's on my forehead. Okay. So, and again, that's been why my big push over and what I've been working on actually last month, and really, diving more into it is the building this business system for voice actors. When it comes to, the even simply getting scripts and background music and sound effects, right? Where do you get those? Where do you go? Do you got to pay for, where's the free sites? Where's the stuff here? How do I use it? Do I know? What do I pick? Is it okay? Can somebody tell me it's okay? I don't know if it's okay. I don't know if this is what I should like. There's so much of that. And if you notice, what is all of that? It is not your acting. It's the business. So all I'm trying to say is that these things can really curve and put a wall up in front of that dream. And it can be very discouraging. Very discouraging. Then, right, what is on the other side of that? This imposter syndrome, right? This massive gorilla in the room that makes us feel like what I was just saying. Is this okay? Is this right? How can I call myself a professional? I've never done any work before, or I don't even know what I'm doing. I've only been doing this for a year or two. I've only been doing this for a day. I've only been doing this for a couple weeks, and I gotta write profiles and convince people that I know what I'm doing and that they should hire me, and that I'm a professional studio. I'm in my closet with some blankets and a USB mic. How is that like? I mean, am I lying? Am I like it? There's so much. You need to have a break from that. You need to recharge that dream battery as much as you can. All right, especially when those moments come, you've got to separate yourself. We've been I talked about, I don't know, was it Monday, maybe Monday or last week. We're talking about the different personalities in business, right? That kind of come from Michael Gerber and E-Myth Revisited and so forth. Some of these books, but the idea, the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur, and that entrepreneur side, we really, again, going back just to, bring it back up. We're only really using that entrepreneur once or twice. The rest of the time, it's the technician side. And then maybe about, 20% is the manager, right? The organization. You know what I mean? Maybe, 10% or less is the entrepreneur, and then 70% or more is the technician. And I think the entrepreneur is that part of you that dreams, right? That's their job, to dream, to come up with, exciting ideas and solutions, right? But the manager has to figure out how to actually accomplish it, right? And that dynamic is very difficult and causes, I think, most voice actors to give up or to not make noticeable advancements in their business. So it's important to stoke that entrepreneurial, that dreamer in you, to keep that dream alive, right? To imagine what can be and to work towards it. The second part of that is finding a system that works for you, right? What is something that works? And again, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing at Academy Voice, or VO's Journey Elite Academy, because I really do feel that there's so many incredible voice actors who are amazing performers, amazing character actors, amazing commercial actors, amazing audiobook actors, but the business part is crushing them. Do you know what I'm saying? And, so that's what we're doing at VO's Journey Elite Academy, is trying to standardize that, build a system for that. So join the VO's Journey Elite Academy. No, but anyways, the point is that, though, on the larger scale, hold on to that dream. Okay? Realize that you've got to get good at business. What does that mean? You've got to understand what you are creating. The solopreneur, I think it's a myth. It should be like solo hell. Because I mean, think about everything that we have to do by ourselves. And this is not a bashing session on what we do, like on a business sense, because I love business, but it's so overwhelming to think about everything we have to do. Like, even if you go to the finance part and say, okay, well, I've got to keep my books. I got to make sure my stuff is attached to my books. What about taxes? We know all the different tax laws that have happened in the last year or two. There's all these different things going on. Just the aspect of that, your LLC, right? The legal part behind that. Have you, do you have your EIN? Have you got that from the IRS? Did you go to your state commission, all right, and get your LLC? Did you get your local license? Right? You have all of that set up. Did you renew it? Are you making sure that it's renewed every year? Did you pay those taxes to your state? Or local. That's another thing about local. I remember everybody. There's another thing on side note on taxes. Everybody wants like taxes. Anyway, don't get me started on taxes. But the point here is that there's so much to do by ourselves. So you want to find places that can help you with that, but not let that drag you down, because at the heart of what we do is performance. But the business part is imperative to make sure you're able to perform. Think of the business as the platform that allows you to stand on to perform. The business is what is the engine to your freedom. It's what drives that freedom. So without a strong engine, without a strong vehicle, freedom and that dream becomes extremely difficult. And I think this is what happens to a lot of voice actors. I really do. And they again go to that old thing I said in the beginning. They know what they need to do. They just don't know how to do it. Okay, and again, that's so different, because I hear voice actors all the time will tell me, hey, Anthony, I know I need to be working on this. I know I just need to get this done. And if I don't ever ask clarifying questions or dig deeper into that, they'll never tell me that I just don't know how to do it. Or when I do it, it doesn't seem to turn out good. Or I don't know, I've done it, now I don't know if it's any good. Right? There's that imposter syndrome. So there's that accountability piece that we need to build in, which is, again, one thing I love about the whole video about VO's Journey Lead Academy, but it's very, important to have that accountability, that person, that coach, that group, that team of people there to assure you that you're going on the right path, or, hey, we need to tweak this some. We need to work on this first. So, that is at the core of really what I've been working on recently. And holding on to your dream, you cannot let it go, and you cannot forget the different roles that are being played out. Okay, from the macro view. We're always stuck in that technician mode. We got to do the work. We got to get the demos. We got to put up profiles. We got to build our studio. We got to get our equipment right. We got to get our DAW right. We got to get our headshot. With all this stuff we have to do, right? We forget to look at the macro, except from that beginning of that dream. So you gotta I guess the point of this whole thing is, don't let go of that dream. Understand the roles that your business plays, the business structure, the business system. Okay, I like to think of the systems, right, as these, or at least the systems in what we're trying to create, right, are a series of repeatable actions that have a predictable outcome. Okay, and we understand machines. Like, I go get my coffee, my Keurig, right? I open the lid, put a K-cup in, close the lid, add water if it needs water, put that back into the little water section, put my cup under there, hit the button, makes the coffee, I put the K-cup, throw it away, I'm done until I need another cup of coffee. I mean, it's a machine. It's consistent actions with a predictable outcome, right? Repeatable actions with a predictable outcome. That's what a system is, because a machine is a system. And the more complex machines are a series of systems that work together towards one goal. That's what our businesses are, okay? But we focus solely on the craftsmanship most of the time of our acting. The business part, though, is the vehicle. It is the platform. It is the base that allows us to do all that. So you need both. You have to have both to succeed. And if you're struggling in succeeding in voiceover, then that means one of those is not working right. One of those isn't working right. Okay. And we need to fix that. All right. So anyways, I think you get it. But at the heart of all of it is your primary aim. It's the whole purpose of all of this. I told you mine was freedom. Mine was freedom. Mine was, I wanted a new life. I wanted something different. I mean, I had good things. I wasn't like, bad. I wasn't bad off. But mentally, I felt a lot of it felt dead, right? I felt like that I was just stuck. I'd worked years and years and years doing this thing, and I felt it wasn't paying me enough. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. No matter how successful I was, I never moved anywhere. It was always the same. And even if I did move up, it was a whole set of new problems. And it was like I felt like no matter what it was, I was trapped. So, I wanted that freedom to control my own life. And that's what I do. You've got to find what's driving you, and you got to hold on to it, and you got to remember it, write it down, do something, and make your bumper sticker, make a big sign and put it up in front of right behind your computer every day. So when you come and look at your computer, you got this sign right up here, freedom. You know what I mean? Something, whatever drives you, put it up, keep it there, make it a part of your life. It's your life mission. All right? Everything you do revolves around it. There's the only way to turn that dream into a reality. But you can't lose the dream, because there's going to be times that are tough. There's going to be all those moments where you know what you need to do, but you don't know how to do it. That dream is everything. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I know it's, again, more of a philosophical thing today, but so much of what we do is, right? So much of what we do is the mindset that we have and the actions we take from that mindset. So don't forget that. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to check out VO's Journey Elite Academy. We'd love to have you over there. I mean, really exciting stuff. Our new semester is starting, so this is a great time to join. We're going to be adding in more and more of these business systems to where you don't have to worry about the systems. You can use our system, you know what I mean, that works, okay, to move forward, and you can just focus on your craft of acting. So thank you guys so much. You have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.